right now. This is the Jeff and Jeff reaction. Little moments ago. Well, we're going to talk about a lot more than just Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, we're going to talk about me stuck in Connecticut, Southwest canceling all their flights. Flights are, so I might be stuck here. We'll talk about Sylvia Leslie, my future wedding date, maybe blowing me off again tonight. Maybe we'll touch a little bit of Jasenia, and maybe my future first lady, whoever that's going to be. But as we talk about that, and as we're talking about ladies respectfully, there's someone who's not so respectfully in the news. It's the guy I called the tool originally, and then I walked it back, and then I didn't know where I was staying on it. And then my mentor, Patrick and David, had him on his podcast. And did you hear? And then we have my boy Mario in a room, and Grant was in there. Did you hear any of this? Andrew Tate got arrested, man, in Romania. I shouldn't be smiling at all about this. This is really bad, especially sex trafficking is a huge problem. And when you have Jeffrey Epstein and nobody talking about him, and he never got arrested, and Bill Clinton for everything, he's never got arrested. But yet we're going to arrest Andrew Tate. Listen, it's a huge problem. I know Tim Tebow does stuff for sex trafficking. I know there's some stuff in Romania. I don't actually, I'll say what I don't know. I don't know the statistics about it in Romania, but good evening, buddy boy Josh. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. Let's get right into it. So let's talk about it. I think the first things there's like, have you ever watched PBD's podcast, The Home Team, and he goes through a list? He's like, man, we got a lot to talk about. We got Tate, we got Southwest to talk about, we got this to talk about. So I feel like we've got a lot to talk about. But I think first we should get into Tate, just because it is top of mind. It's top of what's going on right now. People are watching live. They're going to want to watch what's going on. So I think it's very important that we preface this with by what do we know as actual facts, and then what we know, and then our opinion.
So before I go into this, how do we know what's actual facts these days?
That's why I want to preface this with this, because what is actual facts? Do we know what are actually facts?
Well, you were a little bit in the Twitter Spaces room with Mario.
A little bit, yes, I was.
So he was reading like the live arrest bulletin, like that was like the facts, right? That they go in on. I really don't even know. I was listening to it all while I was driving to find the perfect shirt with the perfect collar. So my dad and my aunt and everybody would make fun of me. And I have a Zara shirt on here. Remember the Zara shirt?
I don't. You mean Zaya?
Oh, Zaya. Sorry. Yeah. This is a Zara thing. Zaya's underneath. Zaya and Zara. Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, I don't know. So this is the thing. I'm hearing a bunch of things that are coming up. Right. I'm hearing
What's your gut feeling? Your gut.
My gut feeling says it's too convenient with everything that's happening right now. Something's up. Like something's amiss. Now, I want to say a couple of things. Number one, if Andrew Tate and his brother has done any type of human trafficking, and they've held people against their will, they've done any type of human trafficking, then justice is finally being served. God bless it. God bless the victims. Then justice is being served. It's awesome. We should be happy about that. If it is not, then we have something to worry about. And there's a problem here, because there's a couple of things that I want to address. And I think it's very important that we kind of like do the timeline of how this happened. So I don't think you're aware of, maybe you listened to a little bit of it, but I don't think you're aware of like what the narrative is that's going out right now and how this all happened. Are you aware of it?
No, I'm not. I really, dude, literally, I think you sent it to me, right?
I did send it to you, but there's some things that happened in the past couple of days prior, and this is what people are saying what's happening right now. And I strongly disagree. So you can pull it up. So go to.
Well, should I go to Twitter first? I go to Twitter.
Go to Twitter, yeah. Go to Twitter.
Twitter is good because I want to read Patrick and David's tweet. Can I read that first?
I mean, you can. I think it's important to. Jerry's Pizza. That place is going to get a lot.
What's Jerry's Pizza?
Well, you'll see. Go down. Emergency podcast tomorrow. I love PBD, man. He's so awesome. So he says, hey, listen, don't know exactly the details of Cobra Tate arrest, but here's what I do know. A day after he publicly calls out one of the woke heroes, Greta Thunberg, they raid his place. Strange timing. Meanwhile, we haven't seen anyone from Epstein's list arrested. Strange.
Yeah.
Then he replies to it and says, he's loud. He pushes the envelope. He frustrates the left. He points out hypocrisy. He's duplicating young men to also do the same. Having said that, if they committed a crime, the proper agencies will do what they need to do. Till then, innocent until proven guilty. I'm with PBD. I agree, 100%. So let's go. Click on where he says, go scroll a little bit down. Click on Greta Thunberg's name.
Yeah. So I never knew who she was until they got into something.
Oh, well, she's
You knew who she was before?
Yeah, of course. She's
Someone to follow,
autistic.
yes?
She's listen, it says right there, autistic climate justice activist.
Gotcha.
She's autistic and she strongly believes in taking care of the earth, right?
Gotcha.
Now, okay, so this is what Andrew Tate tweets, right? Scroll down a little bit. Scroll up. He tweets at her. Hello, Greta Thunberg. I have 32 cars. My Bugatti has a V6 12 quad turbo. My 2 Ferraris have 812. He goes through. This is just the start. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and the respective enormous emissions, right? And then I do credit to her. She says, yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com. Now, good for her. Now, she means he has a small dick energy. Grammatically, it's not correct. Well, I get that. But it's a joke. It's a good joke. She's poking fun at him, right? Because she's saying that she has a small dick by saying that, right?
Right.
So now, click on Andrew Tate. Yeah, you haven't seen any of this.
I have seen it, dude. How Twitter does the feed. I have seen some of it.
So click on Andrew Tate's profile.
Yeah, I don't think this is just a picture. Oh, there it is.
And then go down to see, not that video. Go down. Not that one. This one right there. Not that one.
That one's for I'm busy.
That one right there. And watch it and listen to it.
Right.
It's funny.
I haven't seen it. I think I did see. No, I guess I didn't see this.
Release some greenhouse gases. I'm obviously a stranger to online controversy. It's not something I often do. But now the mainstream press is commenting on the fact that I was informing Greta that my very extensive car collection with internal combustion engines, which run on dead dinosaurs, have an enormous emission profile. And she replied by telling me her own email address. Greta's email address is, I have small dick energy. Why would that be your own email address? Strange. I mean, also, I don't want to assume her gender. It's 50-50, but it is what it is. I'm not actually mad at Greta. Please bring me pizza and make sure that these boxes are not recycled. Thank you. So I'm not actually mad at Greta, right? Because she doesn't realize she's been programmed. She doesn't realize she's a slave of the matrix. She thinks she's doing good. Someone has sat her down and convinced her to try and convince you to beg your government to tax you into poverty to stop the sun from being hot. And then, because I called her out on it, the global matrix got this bot farm to like and retweet and all this bot commenting to try and pretend that her telling me that she has a small dick in her own email address somehow teaches me a lesson. Welcome to a new episode of The Clown Show. But now I know at least that Greta, with a little hate-filled face, bitter, sitting somewhere without the heating on, in the cold, a little hat, shivering, here's my tweets, which is going to make my Twitter account far more fun into eternity.
Okay. So
here's the thing.
If she's autistic, dude, like.
So I get.
I don't even know who she is, but If
Oh,
she's
listen, if she's autistic and she's clapping back saying you have a small dick,
right.
get a life. I mean, she's not that autistic. She's pretty coherent. And good for her. I laughed at what she said back to him. I thought that was good. I thought his response was good. I thought it was just more of like their like comedic timing going back and forth. And if anyone takes what Andrew Tate just said seriously, is insanity.
Right. No. Listen, and that's the thing. I know he's joking there 100%.
Now,
part of what you go ahead.
Hold on one second, though. This isn't over. People are claiming right now that Greta Thunberg now pulled the Trump card and got him arrested by saying that Jerry's Pizza, or the pizza that he got delivered from, is how she was able to track him down and get him arrested.
So
that's why Jerry's Pizza is. But to me, I think this is insanity because this guy flies on his own private jet. They stamp your passport when you come in. Wouldn't they be, if they were waiting for him, wouldn't they be waiting for him at whenever he comes in?
So I was listening. Listen, this is all what's, and I'm very careful of doing this. When you hear something, you repeat it without knowing its fact. So that's what I'm about to do here.
Right. I think we're all doing that. I think it's important for us to ask questions. Like I said, what do we know as fact, like actual fact, and what's our opinion? Right. Because that's all everything we got going on right now.
Yeah. Either way, dude. Yeah, 100%. Listen, innocent before guilty. The guy knows how to market extremely well. Extremely well. All right. Here's the thing. Dude, who's this Greta girl? Like now he made her more popular now.
So Greta Thunberg is somebody who came out back in like 2011, 2012 and said, you are destroying my life and you're destroying the lives of...
That her?
Yes.
How old is she?
She's like 19 years old. She's autistic. She did this very impassioned speech that said, you are taking away my life. You're taking away... It was filled with a lot of emotional, like she was extremely passionate about it. And it resonated with a lot of people. Now, did it lie in facts? Who knows? Because who knows what's really true about climate change or not. I'm in agreement that we should always take care of our world to the point where you're yelling at people and berating people. By the way, she's also flown in private jets as well herself too. So, I mean, from what I've heard, I don't know if that's facts. I've never seen it, but from what I've seen, she's also gone to these summits too and flight on different jets. So listen, you're also emitting emissions yourself too as well. I'm not saying what she's doing is wrong. I'm saying that her belief is her belief and she's 100% going for it. I think
I will say Andrew Tate, one thing he did say, which I do believe by being a teacher at the middle school, they push this narrative all the time. And, I do think, although we need to protect the planet, I think there's a lot of stuff that does get proved where it is tax dollars that we don't know what's going on. And
100%. We're giving away money to corporations who have no idea how to spend it every single day. And if you don't believe
by the way, and here's the thing, we just wrote a bill for $1.7 trillion. Do you know this?
That's what exactly I was about to say.
And about $1 billion of them is going to prosecute to attorneys to do, and how they leverage the money is just ridiculous. So like that alone, I tweeted Joe Biden. I said, hey man, I might run against you. By the way, did you watch the interview? And I'm totally getting off the thing here with Grant and Francis Suarez, the mayor of Miami. My mayor.
I did not watch that one. No.
Phenomenal interview, by the way. All right. So back to this.
So this is the thing. So that's what I hear of that's a picture of me. That's what I hear what is going on right now at the moment. That's the update. And then all of a sudden then he got arrested and his brother got arrested. Not just Tate, not just Andrew Tate, but his brother got arrested. So what does that mean? That means they're both involved in it.
Yeah.
So I heard Grant talking about it, and Grant was being like, "Hey, man, this guy says he's got 6 passports. I don't think there's any reason for anybody to have 6 passports. It seems pretty."
You heard that? Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. So yeah.
So listen, I mean, we don't know the truth until it comes out. I will say repeatedly, if he is guilty, good. We are doing something right. Thank God. We're like exposing somebody who's meant doing something wrong, and they're going, and justice is being served. If he is not guilty, dude, we got to be very careful, because this world will try and crush you. One other thing before I mean, you can read these, but I want to show you one other thing too.
Okay, so Layla, who is friends with Andrew Tate, and she came on. Actually, let's see if she's in here right now. So, did you hear any of her defending it?
I didn't hear her on the Twitter space. No, it was Mario,
and then Mario's very good at moderating, like keeping it. And no, we will do this. I love Mario. I think he's hilarious. Okay, let's see. This is a breakdown analyst. Oh, you know what? I should start a.
Great news that they were released, and I would like to point out that. Well, there's video showing him walking away. That's from the previous release back in April.
Oh, so dude, yeah, because
even if it's fake news.
So he got arrested once before.
Yes. So apparently before he was swatted.
Look, Grant Cardone just put tell me your thoughts on Andrew Tate getting arrested.
Yeah, I saw that. So Layla says if they really cared about human trafficking, they would have released Epstein's little black book. They don't care. Stop being a sheep. She says, innocent until proven guilty. We need to be unemotional when talking about reality. Believe all women is dangerous. I agree with both of what she says. 100%.
Yeah, no, I do too. Dude, it kind of it sucks either way, dude. It sucks because if it is true, dude, just can we just talk to the fact that like, instead of just like Andrew Tate, just talk about how bad just sex trafficking is and thing, and then nobody even talks about it. You know what I mean?
So we all know it's bad. We've known it's bad for a very, very long time.
Because there's a lot of money in it.
Yes. We know. I've known it's bad. You know it's bad. We've known it's been bad since
going through all the material that
the Clintons
today in the raid, all the phones, all the emails, all the digital data that is available, and they may look for other potential crime.
So Patrick and David's listening right now in this. I wish they'd have him speak in here. They said they had him speak before.
He's probably just listening. Like I was. He's busy, but he's listening.
Right.
So listen, I think everybody in the world cares about human trafficking and sex trafficking. It's like even if like let out. It is a shame that we have people who are currently in political offices who have been accused of that, and they're not, arrested for it. But I mean, I think it is like it's like unless what he's doing is so bad, and it could be that it's just like so overwhelmingly evil that they're like, oh my God, we have to go after this guy, then boom. But can you search one more thing?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to create a Twitter space right now. How do you spell arrested? ARR.
Well, for creating a Twitter space, that means you're gonna have to pay attention to that and pay attention to this, right?
Yeah, I just want, dude. I don't do many of these, so I'm just gonna start it. Oh, look, they do music. See, they're updating it. It's cool that I start these. I gotta start this one. So they update with music right when you start it. Say.
No, I can't see any of that. Like the screen.
Well, you know how when you start Clubhouse Room, how we always put music on, they auto-populate music.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool. All right, what do you want me to go to?
Go search Kyle from Full Send. What's his name? Kyle.
Oh yeah, so the lover boy thing.
No. Go to Twitter and search it.
Okay, so Kyle. Oh, what's his name? Kyle what?
I forget, but if you search Kyle, I'm sure it'll come up. Yeah, I think that's it with the check mark right there.
This one, Kyle Forger?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then scroll down a little bit, and then click on this video.
He predicted. Oh wow.
I knew it was coming. I absolutely not knew it was coming because of how orchestrated it was. The only thing, and I'll state this at the beginning, the only reason I'm upset by being canceled is because I've expired one of my lives. Because first you get canceled, then they make up a reason to put you in jail, and if that fails, they kill you. So now I'm down to my last 2 lives, which is also why while I'm answering this question, I'm still being careful how I'm answering it. I'm not telling you
Scary
everything.
shit.
It's scary because they've given me the warning.
So you didn't hear what he said.
Yeah.
No,
So
what did you
that's
say?
scary.
I mean,
Go back. I know you weren't paying attention.
So the truth is this. So I knew it was coming. I absolutely not knew it was coming because of how orchestrated it was. The only thing, and I'll state this at the beginning, the only reason I'm upset by being canceled is because I've expired one of my lives. Because first you get canceled, then they make up a reason to put you in jail. And if that fails, they kill you. So now I'm down to my last 2 lives, which is also why while I'm answering this question, I'm still being careful how I'm answering it. I'm not telling you
Scary
everything.
shit.
It's scary because they've given me the warning and I'm still running my mouth.
Yeah.
So that's scary. But here's how cancellation works. So I knew it was going to happen because there's very, very orchestrated attacks. So NGOs and charities and all these other
So it's like he's predicting the
So,
future, or B,
I knew it was
which a
coming.
lot of people are saying, which also could be a reality. He's such an egomaniac that he is saying all this stuff to make it look like he's some sort of God complex and they're trying to take him down, which could also be a reality too.
I didn't see this. You DM'd me, and I could finally, now that Mr. Must maybe could have finally get a check. You know, why they would never give me the check. Oh, you have a blue checker? I've been doing it. I had some
Just
days.
fine.
And I only do visual, but for some reason they wouldn't give me a check.
Have you seen that Elon's taken over Twitter?
Yeah.
So
in fact,
Oh, well, I have a blue check and OJ Simpson does not. Dude, did you see the point in this episode where they ask him about the murder?
Yeah. And then he gets to the point where he's like, I don't want to talk about
Dude,
that.
does not look good for him. Let me just put it that way.
Dude, everybody in the world knows that he murdered Nicole. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna get canceled for saying that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, but then he was innocent until proven guilty, right? That's what we're saying about Andrew Tate, and he's innocent.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, listen, you can't admit our justice system is totally messed up. Like, and maybe worldwide. Like, we're imperfect humans, so the justice system will always be messed up, right?
It's always going to be imperfect. I think we hope that it's gonna be like, listen, the reason why America was founded is because everything was so crazy in the way that they handled things, right? So when the founders of America, they were trying to work it into a way of, yeah, you see this?
No.
And stuff too. I'm like, I'm really good. I'm gonna ask you to stop filming, please. You know, I don't like. I watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians every night too. Like at this point, you know, if you're filming, I'm not asking you to leave. No, I'm just saying. Like, I know you guys must be losing like a lot of people, but I'm ready to join. At this point, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Excuse me, can you guys fucking film now and walk on me, please? Can I at least just leave my resume here? No, please take that with you. I'll just leave it. Just in case. Is it because I didn't have a cover letter? Or?
By the way, who's got arrested at Balenciaga?
They want to hire me. He's in tune with being a body chair. You're not young enough to be hired. You have to be a teddy bear or you have to be under the age of 10.
So, by the way, while we're all distracted, kill a story with a story with Tate. Who got arrested at Balenciaga? Right? They're taking pictures of little children holding teddy bears with bondage gear in and taking photo of a book that has sexual exploitation of children and decapitation and cannibalism. And we're not arresting any of those people. No, we're just going to say we're going to think about it.
Spell Balenciaga. I don't even know.
BALANCIGIA.
By the way, is Gucci owned by
Wrong. Ian.
for
theft? Oh my! If you steal from Balenciaga, we will arrest you.
Horseback's arrested for stealing. Wow.
If you steal from Balenciaga, we will arrest you.
Crew was to 9 thing. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, nobody's arrested.
But by the way, let me just put this little child here. Sexually exploit them, but none of us are going to get arrested.
But then we can search.
Dude, it's crazy what is going on. It's insanity. Listen, I also think like Andrew Tate brings this on himself with how arrogant he is.
Yeah, dude, 100%, man. Like, see, okay, so not to say anything. So you know how he he rose to fame and everything. It was ingenious marketing, right?
I know he was a kickboxer.
No. But the like repurposing the content with all his influencers.
Right. Yes.
Do you know who's doing that pretty soon? I believe they're doing that pretty soon, and they're doing affiliates.
Who's that?
My boy GC.
Oh, is he? That's awesome.
Well, challenge. That's what I think it is. It's
So
January 24th.
now-
Anyway,
Okay, so now this is changing. So now the story's changing. It's saying that he's arrested for rape and then sex trafficking. Well, first it's human trafficking. Then
this
it's
is the Guardian, man. The Guardian's very like. I'm trying to think which one is like.
What's true, what's not.
Right. Yeah, I know.
So.
Social media influencer and
Busting Rainier Thursday related to sex trafficking allegations, according to a report. Police and tactical gear descended on a villa. And brother Tristan were staying at Thursday to detain the British brothers on kidnapping and rape charges. Video shows the officers armed with battery rams and guns sweeping through the dark villa before escorting detained the car. The brothers allegedly detained 2 young women, one with American citizenship and one Romanian, inside the villa against their will in April, where they were subjected to physical violence and mental coercion. The Daily Mail reported. Yeah, that was back in April, and it got dismissed, as far as I know. But is that what they're getting arrested for now, or is that just they're just saying that? Andrew Tate, for investigating. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Police said that
Tate's allegedly formed an organized crime group and sexually exploited women by forcing them to perform pornographic demonstrations, pornographic for the purpose of producing and disseminating ads through social media platforms. The brothers were questioned for 5 hours by police on April 11, but were released. Officers recovered various weapons during the raid, including several guns, a knuckle duster, hatchet, and swords of varying lengths, in addition to stacks of money. These guys sound like the biggest. Video of Tate being escorted to a car and flanked by 2 officers was shared shortly after the news broke.
Yeah, I saw.
Tate's arrest could have been set up by his Twitter feud with environmental activist Greta Thunberg the day prior. The French brothers were tagged in a post showing off his 33 cars and asked her for address so he could continue to brag. They could. Yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at, censored. Tate initially responded with a short, "How dare you?" Yeah, that's right, he did. Before revising his response to a 2-minute video of making fun of the use of pronouns and calling her a slave of the Matrix. Tate asks a person off screen to hand him 2 boxes of pizza, reminds him not to recycle, and in an effort to further taunt Thunberg. The box had Romanian type on the sides, potentially letting officials know he was in the country. I get that, but
yeah, recycling's
how do you not know the guy's in the country by him flying in and out of it? If he's really this important, how do you not know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, it's values and principles. Here's the thing. What I know is I called Tate was a tool from the beginning. I still think he's a tool. I do think a lot of his narrative and the way he spoke stuff made a lot of sense and a point. I could totally see, dude. Here's the thing, because
Jeff, this could happen to you,
right?
You realize that, right?
Yeah,
it's
but
I'm gonna run for president. I'm believing in the right thing, and they're gonna say, Jeff, and they're gonna find whatever they want. And they're gonna ask you.
Yeah, 100%.
And listen, I'm not here. Here's the crazy thing is they can all dig up things in our past that we have all done that is bad. Right? Listen, I'm not trying to give Andrew Tate or his brother any type of green light for doing what they did. If they did something wrong, I've said repeatedly in this, then good, justice is being served. It's odd to me, everything that I see that's happening, it just feels a little bit off. I also wish that Andrew Tate wasn't an asshole like he was, so maybe this stuff wouldn't happen. But again, he is saying things like, men, you need to stand up for yourselves. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to be better. You need to, not be a slave, not take the vaccine, all these different things. And obviously, big tech media doesn't want to deal with any of that. So they're going to cancel him, either arrest him, and whatever's going on. So I don't know. I mean, apparently from what I've heard, is Tristan Tate, manages OnlyFans, like an OnlyFans type of thing. So let's say I'm a girl and I want to work for OnlyFans, but I don't want to respond to all the guys that are saying, hey, can you send me this, right? So he owns a company that says, all right, see what people are requesting, and then send the requests to the girls. We need you to do this today, and that today, right?
I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what Tristan organizes, from what I understand.
Okay.
Now,
I thought they didn't organize that anymore. Here's the thing. This is the one thing I will say about Tate and the thing and organizing all that. By the way, let me ask you this question. Do you believe that OnlyFans, all that stuff is because they were doing this in Mario Space? Do you believe that's sex workers and like like what's it called? Promoting sex working?
do I think it's promoting sex working?
Yeah.
Ask the girls who are doing it. Don't ask me. I'm not doing it.
Right. Okay. So because there's a big narrative between like all these things that are legal, but maybe not ethical, right? And I don't know, dude. It's so I think a lot of times you like it's at the end of the day, it's not ethical, right? All that stuff, that's just as messy.
Well, the reason why I say that is it's personal choice. I'm huge for personal accountability. So like we can pretend and not pretend. We can acknowledge that maybe these girls are victims. At the same time, like, what it takes to start an OnlyFans. You literally have to take your license. You literally have to take this. You literally have to do that. They're willingly going into this, and some of them are making lots of money. That's a personal choice. That's accountability on their choice. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong, but if we're pointing fingers at people, they should be pointing fingers at themselves and saying, am I doing what's right, or am I promoting something that's wrong? Again, it's also capitalism too. They're bringing value to a certain marketplace, right? And people are willing to pay for it. Again, I don't really agree with it. I'm just saying, like, that's kind of like.
No, it's capital. Well, taking Jasenia to your wedding and seeing her operation of what she had for OnlyFans and everything. And she kind of likened it to this. She's like, well, I used to post in Maxim magazine and then they didn't have that around. So now I just post on there. Just like they got paid for magazines. All these people did, stuff in magazines, right? Lingerie, whatever the deal was, is the same thing. That was kind of her whole thing. And and at a point it made sense. It's like, oh, there's no magazines around. That's right. This is the way they're going to make online magazine money. Right. And then people do a chat and then they do the whole deal where they, the way Mario explained, he's like, they do these little chats and then they entice them to buy pictures. The way he says them, it's hilarious, right? Like we all know what's going on. And dude, literally, it's Patrick and David talks to this. How do you want to make your money, right? And dude, I could have made my money in several different ways, flipping Instagram accounts, maybe hosting an OnlyFans agency. There was a kid I chose not to air his thing on my Never Forget This podcast. I won't say his name because he basically branded OnlyFans agency, and then it led to doing a porn house. They said we're doing Airbnb and we're turning it into a porn house. And then when you turn porn house, whether it's legal or not or whatever, that also then leads to sex trafficking. Because like I was listening to a whole thing on how it happens, and when guys start watching porn. And where sex trafficking and this thing happens. And this was in one of the things I watched where they like capture the guys. They basically said the guys keep watching porn until it stops getting them off. And then they keep going younger and younger. And that's where it gets, this is where it's the same story every time.
Wait, what?
That basically like, I heard this from, I forget who I heard it from, but basically like why sex trafficking so big or why, no, it's not sex trafficking. It's soliciting younger minors for sex. Right, is that it's the same story. This is what the guy said, and it was obviously a thing on, outline. Listen, dude, I don't think porn should really be legal either. I don't know, is porn even legal? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't think it should. Like, why should it be legal?
Okay, so while you're on your high horse, I'm gonna tell you something that the Lord said, right? Because people were doing exactly what you were doing. I don't think this should be. I don't think this should be. I don't think this should be. What did the Lord say? Man, if you even look at another woman with lust in your heart, you've committed adultery, right? Yep. So listen, this is what I'm saying. We're all fucking guilty, and any of us who are acting like we're not,
right? No, I'm not.
I'm guilty. You're guilty. Everybody on earth is guilty. And let me tell you something. Another thing. There's people who work very hard at McDonald's, right? They're getting paid shit pay, and then somebody comes in who's a vegan and comes up and starts throwing shit at this person and saying, you are destroying people's lives. And they look at that person who is behind the counter at McDonald's, who makes barely minimum wage, is like, man, I can't deal with this shit, right? But according to that person who's vegan, that person who works at McDonald's is evil, right? Where do we draw the line when it comes to things like that? Is that person right? Are the people who work for OnlyFans wrong? It's like, where do we draw the line? This is what I think. I think, again, it comes down to personal accountability. We are all accountable for our own choices. Now, if I'm coerced into something, if I'm forced to do something, if there's a gun being held to my head saying, flip these burgers at McDonald's, that's wrong. If there's a gun flipped to my head that said, have sex with this person for money so I can collect it, that's wrong, right? So that, like, if someone is forced into something, to me, I believe that's wrong. But if someone is actually making a personal choice on that, that's their responsibility. It always comes down to accountability.
Totally agree. I will say a lot of times too. And by the way, I just thought prostitution was legal in Vegas. And someone told me it wasn't. And I was like, well, you wouldn't know by the time I've been there, right? I just think it's very well known. The thing is, dude, and this is what I mean. Listen, this goes back to biblical times, right? There's always been people all the time with strip clubs and like women and this whole thing, man, ever since Adam and Eve bit the apple, right? So it's like when people know there's a whole thing on this. The thing I will say is, morally, and listen, you're right, we're all not perfect and stuff. There's just certain things of like, you open it up when you make porn legal or whatever it is legal. Okay. You open up to the whole pimp lifestyle. You open up. I taught middle school where I saw girls were sex trafficked at motels and forced against their will and all this stuff. And I've seen that, dude. And that's what makes me very sensitive to this. When Andrew Tate first came out and I looked him up and I just saw him and I made a snap judgment and I called him a tool and all that stuff right away. We have the video. I knew he did some webcam business or that's what I heard. Right. And listen, my whole point is like, cool. He has a Bugatti. He makes billions his own way, whatever he does. Right. I'm going to make money the way. And this is me maybe standing on my horse saying, I'm going to make it my way. You make it that way. I just don't have respect for that. Since then, I've seen him actually handle women well, talk to I saw Layla, who I love her stance on it, defend him. I've seen a lot of women come out and defend him. And I saw that and I thought, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I did see that one video what's that girl's name that you said she's kind of like crazy conservative?
Oh, dude, she's going crazy tonight. Nicole Arbor, she's like rejoicing.
She hates Tate.
She hates Tate, right?
She posted that video. I don't hate Tate. I don't like the whole webcam thing, right? Like, can we say Mario said this before? Mario's like, when I stayed at Holiday in a thing, I was in a thing and I found out the bed is tilted. They use it for webcam, and I was staying there, and I was like, I didn't know the big thing.
I agree 100%. If girls are doing webcams and it's forced beyond what they want to do, that's fine. Listen, dude, there's also other dark stuff that you don't even want to talk about, that I don't even want to talk about. The fact that there are messed up people out there, messed up girls are out there who are talking about, I can't believe how much money I'm getting paid to have sex. I can't believe I'm going to shoot 3 scenes today and everything. And there's like documentaries on this stuff.
Yeah, no, dude, trust me.
And dude, like, listen, I'm saying like, but at the same time, there's also guys who exploit it too as well. I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm just saying like it comes down to personal accountability. Like if the girl is willingly going to do this, then that's her decision. If nobody forced her into doing it. If a guy is doing this, then he's forcing another girl to do this and she does not want to do it. That's wrong. It's evil. And I agree with you about opening doors, right? If you're doing porn or if you're doing OnlyFans, it opens doors to different things. It definitely does.
With weed leads to drugs, dude. Same thing like
so does Jeff. So
eating
does
ice cream. Eating ice cream leads to eating Oreos,
Correct. Alcohol does. Like all these different things too. Right. This is why, what have I been preaching? It all comes down to personal accountability. If a human being chooses to do something or not, right? So if they're choosing to do something, it is up to that direct human being. And now if I keep on saying, if somebody's forcing them to do something that's wrong, it's evil. But if I'm choosing to do something, it's my fault. It's not anybody else's fault. Like Tate should take responsibility for all the things that he's done. regardless whether they're good or bad. He needs to take responsibility for all the things he's done.
Yeah,
I'm sure he does.
With Piers Morgan, he took responsibility for his ISIS comment. Did you see that?
Yes, I did say that. Yeah.
And he said what he said about ISIS, and then he goes, well, now that I'm Muslim, I was wrong there. And it was, dude, listen, it's sad because like I'll admit I have a hard time. I'm all for innocent until proven guilty, 100%. Okay, on that. Here's the thing. Why did when we talk Balenciaga, this is the crazy thing. That video gets shadow banned. Why is nobody getting arrested in Balenciaga? Which like is sex trafficking. It's whatever. It's satanic. It's blood. It's the worst stuff ever. Like everybody.
Correct. Yes.
It's on that same level. And then nobody's arrested in that. Nobody's arrested. Epstein gets murdered or thing in here. There's a big protecting. Listen, everything, even if
it all comes down to the narrative. If
right,
you agree with what the narrative is saying, you're protected. If you don't, you're not protected. And
well, that's my point. Let's say Andrew Tate, and let's just say it's just for devil's advocate, is just as evil as Epstein and done as much bad stuff as Epstein. Okay,
which is 100% possible. He could be worse.
Okay. Right. So let's say it's worse. Okay, then that's possible. There's a reason why with Andrew Tate and the narrative that he thought isn't protected and getting arrested, and Jeffrey Epstein was able always to get payoff. And that you have to look at right away. You know what I mean? So if you don't follow the narrative, that's part of the reason why, dude, we're live streaming at 5 things. I'm like, man, what am I going to say now that they're going to use against me later on to arrest me? Like, that's my whole thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, for me, it's pretty simple. I think you're like, I can tell you're tiptoeing.
Yeah,
like you're careful about what you say.
100%.
I think you can tell that I'm not tiptoeing.
Yep.
I'm saying 100% of like what I believe, because what I believe to be honest,
I'll say when I say what I believe
for everyone. I don't care what side you're on, left, right, middle, center, Satanist, religious person, atheist. I don't care. Personal accountability is the answer. But most people are running away from that. So I don't have any fear of saying that, because if somebody does something wrong, it's like, that's their fault. They did it. Hold them accountable. Just like I've done things that are wrong, and I should be held accountable for the things I've done.
Yeah, dude, I've said a lot of stuff and done a lot of stuff as well. So I'm not saying going forward though, on good principles and values. Now that I'm older, now I'm 37, now that values and principles aren't here. I do believe certain values and principles of literally like standing on a thing and making a stand for, hey, certain things like porn probably shouldn't be legal. There's a big drug fentanyl on the thing as well too. The fact that we allocate money to do the climate change, but we don't do anything for sex trafficking in any of these programs, right? You can probably go look on it. And the fact that we don't do anything about Balenciaga is wrong. Like, we need to take some stands in this way. You know what I mean? Or I'm taking stands in this way, right? I'll say this.
Like, here's the thing, dude, like the people like standing up for sex trafficking doesn't get votes, but standing up for climate change does.
No, I don't think that's true. I just think it doesn't get televised. I think honestly, if we switched it, just like, dude, I remember always thinking with Ben and J-Lo, how they just would put Ben and J-Lo on the news. Remember Ben and J-Lo? I was like, why do we care about this? They make us care about this. LeBron going to Cleveland, right? Didn't care, but they make us care about it. Whatever they put out and they do again and again, they make it. That's why Trump was ingenious, how he just put up lying Hillary or whatever, and he just did the narrative and he won. And listen, now I feel like because we're at this, I'm going to get censored. But, oh, by the way, did you see they put back on Grant Cardone, Robert Malone's interview on YouTube?
Oh, I didn't see that. No, yeah, that's awesome.
And they're coming back on everything. Twitter's making everybody, which I think we're live streaming.
Well, I think Twitter's shining a light on the fact that people like, dude, like how did I find out about Tate getting arrested?
Twitter.
Twitter, and then Instagram. Yeah. And then I went to Instagram. I was like, wait, is this going on? Like, but no, actually, that's not true. I went to Instagram first, but I went to Twitter to verify it, to see if it was actually true of what was going on. But yeah, so listen, man, we're going to find out in the next few days.
Listen, I don't mean to tiptoe on this. Listen, at the end of the day, dude, I just obviously don't think it appears, I don't think it looks good for Andrew Tate at all.
Of course it doesn't look good. It wouldn't look good for you or me if this happened.
Right, but I'm
Like,
just
I
saying,
tend to-
here's the thing, with his background of everything that he's done and how he's put out his message, it just looks a little like it looks a lot worse. That's all I'm
I
saying.
agree. I agree. I think I'm going to be honest with you. If it happened with you, I think it would look bad for you as well. I think if it happened with me, it wouldn't probably look as bad. But it's just
What do you mean by that?
well, because you've dated girls on OnlyFans, you've done all these things about using girls in your social media, right, to get likes or do all those different types of things. It would seem more of like, okay, I guess that makes sense, right? Obviously, it's not.
Yeah, I guess. Dude, half the time I'm hoping that like I really want what Grant and Elena has, and this is one thing Patrick and David said, which I kind of did. Any girl I'm talking to, probably not put her on social media as much. And then girls want me to put them on social media, like Anna, the latest interview with Anna. I said, I'm probably not going to post her interview because I get serious with Anna. Like, I don't know, man. I like her. She's a high value woman, right? And she's like, what? You're not going to put me on? And then the one thing I hate, dude, is I'll put these girls on my social media and they won't repost me to their social media. So it's like, well, then, and it's all the whole guess. This is why I can't even do relationships, dude. Like how many guys are talking to them? And then I get girls mad if I post who's that girl, right? Like, and it's like,
yeah, I mean, I don't even stress about that stuff anymore, to be honest.
so what is your color Bugatti? It's a setup. This is what Brian Bedsack said. It's a setup. This man. This man.
It is a setup. This men are kings and role models. Him exposing Matrix and Greta really triggered the elite. Imagine he did some wild stuff. His brother throwing that Illuminati saying Claire's Day. That's funny. Because you see Tristan walked out like this.
Oh,
It's how they position themselves all the time like that. It's supposed to be a position of power. Not surprised. Innocent until proven guilty. Who? Funny, Tristan is doing the messianic hand gesture. It's all part of the Matrix plan. Strike one is to cancel them. Strike two is to arrest them. Let's see what happens.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on this. Like, literally what I think is they were going to arrest him anyway. Like, he said it, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
He did say it.
Dude, I was shocked when he came back to Twitter. I was like, okay, he's being a little more tame. He's kind of correcting his message. All right. And I was actually kind of happy. And then he kind of like the Greta stuff. He just went back to being himself,
Yeah. It's like a leopard can't change their stripes or spots.
Right, and that's like Trump, dude. He's very much has the same thing as like Trump has, where he'll just say stuff that's like, dude, I have a hard time saying like anything like positive towards. And I think Trump said a lot and done a lot of good stuff. I really do. But also, I think he's done a lot of detrimental stuff, and that's what.
So what have this is why I'm curious. So what have they done, and what are they going to get charged for it? Because
let's talk about the future, like where it's at. I don't know where Mario read he read their whole arrest report. It's probably in here.
Because one of our great beloved heroes is now out of jail.
Bankman-Fried,
who probably did maybe worse things than the Tate brothers, and that was the man who got girls to take off the dresses by putting things in the pudding pops. So Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah, they brought up
and raped countless women. We don't even know the amounts that he did, and he's out of jail. So, I mean, listen, who knows?
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing: we can read the report. Listen, obviously, he's been arrested. So, what do you think happens here? Do you think they in 24 hours?
Listen. Sam Bankman-Fried just got released on bail. I don't imagine why these guys aren't going to get released on bail. I don't know why I keep on coming up, but I guess it's good for marketing. I think these guys are going to get released on bail. I think they're going to be tried for charges. They'll probably be either found guilty or it'll come out that it's not. I think either this, it's found guilty, they'll be found guilty and go to jail, or the charges get dropped, and then what Tate said, there's assassination attempts on them.
Well, dude, that's what I think they're going to be doing towards Trump next,
I agree.
But
I
then
think
they already arrest Trump too. So same thing with Trump. They like try to cancel him with COVID, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I think
Yeah,
I think Trump brings a lot of that on himself. Just
Right.
how Tate brings all this stuff on
Right,
himself.
and that's kind of what I was saying. Like, here's the thing: they could arrest Patrick and David, right, or me, or you, right? And Patrick and David during his 20s did a lot of crazy stuff too. Okay, he's admitted
Correct.
it.
Yes.
Tells everything where he's at. I think the message that I'm putting out, that you're putting out, and that Patrick and David put out is different than what Trump puts out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
So that's, and my whole point is not to say like, I don't know. I know I'm tiptoeing on this. Just like there's something I just don't stand totally with Trump. There's something I totally don't stand with Andrew Tate. There's just something.
I agree. Neither do I. I don't.
However, and I was very, go ahead.
One thing that I think that really frustrates a lot of people is I strive to be as fair as I possibly can. Which means like there's a guy, Kyle Kalinske, who's just on Patrick David. I follow him. I disagree with a lot of stuff. He's a huge socialist. But when he was getting cornered on PBD's podcast, I was sticking up for him. I was like, it's almost 2 against 1 right now. And I disagree with like almost 100% of what Kyle Kalinske says, but I like his manner and how he approaches things. So I follow him and I like him. But a lot of people are not like, maybe I got this from Dan or whatever it is, or I just think it's like I try to have critical thinking. What can I learn from the other person? So
my biggest thing with Andrew Tate, I asked you what the gut feeling was. I do want to show you this in a second, but it's the setup. That's my biggest thing. It's like, oh my God, it's set up. That was my first thing was, oh man, this was really my honest reaction. Oh, really? Are you serious? Like really just like man. And then it's a setup. And then it was like, oh my God, what if it could be true? And that was kind of my thought process.
Yeah, I agree. That's the same. I went, oh, are you fucking kidding me? And then I was like, what did he do? And then I looked at it and I went, I don't know, man. I don't think I believe this, right? And then I thought about it. I was like, man, what if he did?
Right.
Shit, if he did, I was like, if he did, then good on Romanian government. They're doing the right thing, right? That's how, but I agree. My first initial gut reaction was like, this is odd. Like, this is weird. You know what I mean? Like, it felt a little off.
Andrew Tate made it really clear, like, I'm still running my mouth again. Like, here I go again. Like, I'm not taking a sign, So, I mean, dude, it's crazy, man. There's like no freedom of speech at the level. I mean, and let's say, so here's the thing. Let's say they're innocent. Let's say they're literally innocent. Okay. Like nothing of this happened. The girls are nothing in there. Now let's play it the other way, right? Obviously they do it. It's horrible, the whole thing. But let's say they're innocent, right? Which is possible, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They're still going to get tried and convicted then, right? Like,
if they're innocent and nothing happens, then I'm assuming what's going to happen what's going to happen is they're going to question them. They're going to try and do all these different things and then say, oh, these guys are innocent, and they release them.
Yeah, but there's a point to say that they've been making a case since April, that they've just been building up. And like, because he wasn't taking any hints. And like, dude, if they canceled out of all the people they canceled at a level of his Uber, his PayPal, his bank account, and there's been a few other people too as well. But for him, for that, and then he doesn't take a sign, he doesn't shut up. Like, they're just going to build the case, bring him in for question, let him go, and build the case until they get him. Like, they're just
making a murderer. Yeah, 100%. Making a murderer. They're making, they'll build up their case. And here's the thing, they could be right. All I know is, like, in the Bible, in the end times, it talks about, people who say things against, the government, against the Antichrist, they're shot in the streets in front of everybody.
Look at this, dude. So I'm doing a webinar. I want to show you this quick. All right. So I'm doing a webinar live at the mall. I'm working. Look at Alex Chavez. See?
Oh man.
So always going to events. You can come to meetups like that. This guy's going to speak on the 10X stage Club Monday. Crazy, he's going to be at 10X.
wonder how
love
much. I wonder how much he spent with Grant.
No, dude. Oh well.
These are
He
just
won.
live video stuff. So this is actually me.
This is a
at
great
an
event we
just
were at in Atlanta.
running
Was
the
that a
brand,
nice
getting
event?
noticed there.
It was nice, yes.
I got to go back to Atlanta for Ken Jocelyn.
I'll tell a story at the end.
I do not like Atlanta.
And then this is what we cover.
Watch
Brand
this, dude.
awareness,
Watch
brand
this girl
story,
cut me
that's what we're
over
offering.
off right here.
Targeted market, who do you actually follow? Conversation copy, that's what the
I wanna
site
fast forward.
calls. Sales qualified question closing. And virtual events, webinars, podcasts, or ebook. We just trained to do an ebook last week. Follow tools and technology. This is kind of a little bit more in depth, the detail that you can see it later on in the video.
Right here.
It's another guy saying I'm a genius. Changed my life. It changed my outlook. My good flag. So.
Right here. Listen.
Okay. All right. Do you want to be live on it? Be live on here?
Because this happens all the time. Listen.
Representing. Okay.
Okay.
And I've been hearing his pitch to you. And I want to maybe hire him.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It happens all the time. It's like
Right now, where I'm at
By the way, dude, this happens all the time. If I ever do my webinar out and someone hears me, you know how I am. Dude, this is what Grant taught. So look. Oh, she knows Grant Cardone.
qualified. If she qualifies, that's what we do. Jack, people can follow you. Do you have it or no? You don't know it? It's like branding.
She knows nothing about social media.
Tony G. He's in my inner circle
Well,
mastermind.
that's what you guys have to do. Good stuff.
Yeah.
That's why you have to do.
She's beautiful too, you know, so.
I guess I could get myself in trouble.
Okay, good. You know what it is or no? Give it a share. I'll tag you when I post it here. You got Joel good for.
So I'm thinking, I'm hearing him, I'm listening, and I'm like, he's over here taking a break from modeling and my New York stuff and everything, running around like crazy. And I'm like, I didn't want to hear him. And then I'm hearing him.
Harem.
This is
I don't
me.
even know who you guys are, but
No, so this.
you're like
I'm-
probably cool like me, and
Yeah.
you should like be doing all this stuff for all of us.
Yeah, no, that's exactly, so we do brand awareness, getting people known and in front of the right people.
This,
Yeah.
this.
No, I love it. I'm the best at it. This is the living proof of it. So we just acquired a short form video editing company. See, that's the company.
Which, by the way, dude,
No, you're fine. All right, so I'm gonna go talk to her in a second. We'll finish this up now. Oh, I actually wanted to show inside my course. Hang on, let me just show one more part and then I'll be over with you. all right?
okay, so my whole point in saying that is she comes over. I don't know if we're gonna work with her really. She spent 10 grand to work with another company she's on a group call and it's not doing what she needs. She just needs someone to post for her. Kind of what Viral Alchemy is doing. Dude, did you see the new app Captions?
No, I'm hearing everybody say that.
Dude, it literally is putting Viral Alchemy. Well, one thing about Viral Alchemy, which we're switching. Did you watch the video with Alex Hormozy on AI?
No, but I watched a really good video that I don't think Alex went into. Me probably did.
Well, can I show you that? It's really short. It's not that long. It's
Sure.
actually-
Yeah. I might have seen it because if it was an Alex Hormozy, like one of his caption videos, then
No, it's the long one. Here, I'm gonna go to it because this is a good reaction video. Like I almost want to see your face when you react to it. Oh, what's his name sent me this? Caesar. I gotta watch that. I'm gonna watch that later on. Dude, I haven't eaten anything all day. That's crazy. You saw the consulting site coming through, right?
Yes.
All right, adapt or die. So I voted on his thing. All right.
If you want to stop guessing on ads and increase your ROI.
By the way, I've
I wanna
opted
show
for
you.
more ads. Dude,
Stop
this guy's
spaghetti
running an
festival.
ad. I'm gonna run an ad, and he's using
Like
10X.
programmers.
Okay, watch. I showed this to my barber today.
HoneyBook completely changed the way I do business.
Honeybook.
I'm Latasha James.
On November 30th of 2022, the
Watch.
world changed forever.
Wow.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, became accessible to the public for free through a tool called ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Which
Jordan
stands for
Peters did a very similar video.
Okay.
Robot you can talk to.
That you can log on to and have a conversation with. And it went from 0 to 1 million users in 5 days, which is the fastest any platform has gone to 1 million users. It took Facebook 2 years, it took Instagram 2 years, it took Pinterest 4 months, and it took Angry Birds 35 days. I think that it has the potential to unravel the very fabric of capitalism itself and what it means for us as individuals. And a little bit later in the video, I'm going to tell you how you can capitalize on this to 10x how much you make rather than being afraid of it in the short term and curling up in a ball and putting your head in the sand and like hoping it goes away. It's here and it's only going to get more dangerous and powerful. So there's 5 major areas that I think it's going to completely turn on its head. Number 1 is the nature of work itself. The second is how businesses operate. The third is the economy overall. The fourth is how we interrelate with one another on a romantic setting, how we choose mates, how we seduce, how we have sex, all of that stuff. And finally, the nature of life itself and how it actually extends to interplanetary life and whether or not aliens exist here on Earth. I'm not a big woo-woo tin hat guy, but I think if you actually think through the logic, there's some really alarming conclusions that you can come to.
He makes a
AI
joke.
is going to be the biggest shift in our lifetime. It is the equivalent, in my opinion, of the moon landing, except the only difference is that it will actually change all of our lives rather than just being a picture to say that we won the Cold War. Different than the internet, phone systems, television, because what those did was they reshuffled the workforce. This has the ability to remove or eliminate the workforce altogether. Cryptocurrencies in general had the potential to overturn the financial institution. AI is the potential to overturn the human institution.
I tried pause this for 1 second. Do you know how smart Chat GPT is?
Yeah, I've watched a lot about it after this.
It's not that smart. It's average.
Okay.
So it scores an average SAT. The problem is it just doesn't get tired and it can do things quickly.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Keep going.
Yeah.
Slow down AI to regulate AI. I tried for years.
You don't know who I am, or you're new to the channel. My name is Alex.
It was futile. And then Joe
companies that does $200 million a year, and I make these videos so that you can use them and make lots and lots of money. And hopefully you become a company between $3 and $100 million, and we can invest in your business and help you scale beyond that. So in order for us to productively talk about AI, to understand what the terms we're actually talking about are. AI is a type of technology that helps machines or computers do things that normally need a human brain to do. Stuff like learning, solving problems, making decisions, and understanding what we see or hear. The thing that made the release on November 30th so wild is that ChatGPT democratized access to AI for the first time because it had an interface that we could all use, chat. They created a massive language model that allowed it to understand our prompts and queries and be able to translate that into machine speak, get the answer, and then retranslate it back to us in human speak. That is what made it so powerful because now all of us can use it. Right now, ChatGPT spits out words, sentences, paragraphs, articles, and even entire books. It can write legal documents. It can write sales scripts. It can write video scripts. The list is literally endless. I asked it the other day to write a cold email to a plumbing company for marketing SEO services, and it spit it out. And then I said, cool, make it funnier and shorter. Spit out another version. And I said, great, turn it into a text message. Did it. Turn it into a tweet storm. Did it. It's difficult to comprehend the extent of it because it's only really limited by our ability to ask the right questions, which I'll get to later because it's going to be very important in terms of how you choose to use AI. That's just words as the output. But we
pause this for a second. So Jordan Peterson explained all this, and then he said what they were doing is they were asking the Chat GPI to write reports. So write a report on this, write a report on this, and get it done, like for college, on a college level. And then they thought deeper and said, now grade the report, right? So these professors were doing these whole entire things where they're asking Chat GPT or whatever it is to write all these different college level thesis. And then they're saying, wait a minute, let's remove ourselves from the equation, have them grade it. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's crazy in the fact that it's taking over everything and it has the ability to take over everything. I think it's kind of exciting, but I also think it's very scary.
Right. So
we can interpret images, we can interpret videos, and we can interpret sounds. And the crazy thing is that AI can do that too. So OpenAI also runs DALL-E, which is an image engine generator. And so if I said, hey, give me a guy smoking a cigar,
you know about
looking
this?
over a beach where there's a dragon.
Yeah, they do this on Joe Rogan.
Now make it in Van Gogh painting style.
Yeah.
Crazy. Now make me 10 versions of that. Now, if you think about the nature of what a video is, back in the day, it used to be a flip book. They would take images and they would flip the pictures, and then you'd have a video because we can't tell the difference at past a certain speed. And so if it can make images, then if it makes lots of images in a row, it can make videos. But on top of that, if it has the words and it can make the video, it can also make the sounds. In the very near future, those will merge. And to the same degree, the inputs being text or verbal will also merge. This is the reason Elon Musk has been such a big proponent of Neuralink. He wants to take it a factor further. Rather than be limited by our ability to speak or our ability to type, he wants it to be limited by our ability to think. Now, that may sound like science fiction, but it's already here. Many of us were alive during the first iPhone launch. Now we're on iPhone 14 or 15 or whatever it's on now. What we see today is our first version that we can see. ChatGPT 100 is going to be significantly more advanced and will be able to input and output on demand.
Pause it real quick?
We want them. The next important milestone.
So Jordan Peterson explained.
Why didn't you send me the Jordan Peterson video?
Because it's in Jordan Peterson language. You wouldn't watch it.
Right.
Like this is great for you. The Jordan Peterson thing is, whoa, imagine this happening and imagine this happening. And it's really quite fascinating, and it's a long 3.5 minute video that it says everything.
I listened to a lot of Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson has a lot of what Andrew Tate says a lot about the men and stuff,
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. But he said the reason why Elon was trying to get everything done with AI is because he figured that the person who gets there the quickest will have an advantage to see if they can control it. So he knew that if he got there the quickest and being able to get there,
dude, it totally makes sense. Yeah, because
he could influence it to be better as opposed to somebody else who do not trust is doing it, right? So that's why he was like racing towards to try and get it as
good. If Russia, let's say, and I hate to throw Russia out here like it's such a bad thing, but you know what I mean. Or Russia, it does it, and they do it. They can make AI and make a whole AI army.
Yep.
Right. The world's ending.
Milestone is when AI actually physical world. Elon revealed the Tesla bot.
I'm running
the thing
for
is that's
I got one shot.
Again, like the iPhone, in many machine generations, which happen faster than human generations, that will be able to look exactly like a human. And it will definitely, if you look at Boston Dynamics, there's robots that actually function better than humans.
This, right?
Have longer arms and are much stronger.
I've watched it for a while. Have you seen on TikTok the lady with and they always have the robot always going by probiotics? Do you follow them live?
No, but I see all the stuff from Boston Dynamics.
So I follow someone. It's not Boston Dynamics, it's someone else, but there's a lady and she's programming and it's a live, constant live stream of an AI thing, just always learning.
It won't have
it's a big robot, not like this.
Once
like
those machine generations happen,
I can show it to you.
And on the AI side, we'll reach a point where there's super intelligence. And super intelligence is defined as where the AI itself is smarter than all humans put together.
I think it takes like unique human arrogance to believe that AI cannot supersede humans.
At that point, the world will change significantly. This is where access to the superintelligence will become the most valuable resource on planet Earth. For example, if I were to say, hey, build me $1 trillion company, it could in real time write the code for the product, write the scripts for the ads, generate the videos for the ads, directly interface with the media buying, place the ads where it already knows where the targeted audience is, push those targeted audience's eyes to landing pages that it had built with scripts and videos that it had built, and then transact. All from a single prompt. Who determines who gets the access will be a really important question for the future.
That's what Elon.
The second is what will govern the types of prompts and queries that we can ask it. So if we said, how do I wipe out the entire human race for less than $100,000? We don't want it really answering questions like that. There's going to have to be some regulation around this because the thing is, that's a lot of power. If we had 1,000 times the rate of innovation, it would be the same as having all innovations between the period of enlightenment and today happen next year. And so that gives way to the last step in the AI evolution, which is the singularity. The singularity is a hypothetical future point in which technological progress and artificial intelligence will advance to the point where humanity will undergo a transformation beyond which it cannot be seen.
The first truly intelligent machine will be the last invention that humanity needs to make.
Many people postulate that that's the point where it will become either self-aware, it will start to make its own decisions and ignore us. Well, it won't really want to kill us because it has no reason to, for the same reason that we don't want to kill ants, but if we build a highway...
Pause this real quick.
Yeah.
I watched a very, very good podcast with Joe Rogan and the scientist, and he explains about how it is impossible for robots to become self-aware. And Joe Rogan was like, no, it's not. And then when he broke it down, I was like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. It is impossible. I don't know if it's true or not, and I can't regurgitate it the way he does, but the way he explained it, I was like, and Joe Rogan literally went, oh, that makes me feel a lot better. He's like, it should. So I'm not saying it's not dangerous, but it's impossible for them to become self-aware.
What he just said right here.
I thought he said that they would become self-aware.
No, he said, watch, he says it, but you kind of just made me stop it right when he says about the ants with the highway.
Either self-aware, it will start to make its own decisions and ignore us. Well, it won't really want to kill us because it has no reason to, for the same reason that we don't want to kill ants. But if we build a highway, we destroy some anthills. So it's just
so like, because we're building it.
Going to do what it's going to do.
Some robots will eat some jobs and some robots will kill humans. You've already seen that with self-driving cars. But when you look at the trend as a whole, I think it's going to be incredibly positive for humanity.
This is why Elon and Sam Altman and those guys are trying to align our humanity with the goals of the AI. It's the only really productive thought process.
The thought of a robot or an AI thing becoming sentient and realizing what they're doing is impossible. Like that's what the guy was saying.
Right.
I'm not saying that that's true or not, but after I heard it from the guy and the way he explained it, it was extremely eloquent, but extremely simple. I'll send it to you.
Send it to me. I love Joe.
It made me go, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, oh, like for instance, we program everything for a robot to do. So if a robot is saying, I've become self-aware, I know what I'm doing, we're programming it into saying that. It has no idea what self-aware means. We're programming it to say that. Like we've given it the ability to say that, but it's not becoming self-aware. Self-aware is realizing I'm a robot, these are humans, I'm living a robot life, and these are human. Like it doesn't everything that we put into it is something that we have programmed into it. It can't become self-aware. I'm not explaining it the way
dude, if you ask me right now, I would say there's no way. Why? How could it be? Like I don't understand how.
Listen.
Like I don't understand why it's an exploit. Even when he said it, I was like, that like you'd have to teach it so much to become self-aware, just basically, and it wouldn't be self-aware, just be a programming life of a line of code that will be like that's what it is. You know what I mean? That what self-aware looks like.
Yeah, I mean it'd have to have like a spirit or something for it to like come alive, right? And like all of a sudden start to become
robots don't have souls, but they're going to look like
because we can sit here and be afraid, but I don't think we're going to stop the technological progress. Even if they banned it, knowing how the internet is and knowing how black hat coders, et cetera, are, I have a hard time believing that they will be able to stop it because the thing is, this will be the equivalent of having the new nuclear bomb of this century or this millennia.
If humanity collectively decides that creating digital superintelligence is the right move, then we should do so very, very carefully.
So he already saw this all way before.
This is the most important thing that we could possibly do.
That's all pie in the sky stuff. Let's talk about day-to-day. Let's talk about business. So to frame this conversation, I think you have to watch this clip because it will make everything I'm about to say make sense. So this is from Google, and this is from 4 years ago. Their personal assistant.
I never saw this before.
And they haven't released this. Do
you ever see this?
Oh, I believe I have seen this, yeah.
Which is weird.
Oh, how can I help you?
Yeah,
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me one.
By the way, why did the Indian guys who call me never sound like this?
First name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day.
That's the baseline.
Have you ever talked to one of those, by the way?
Yeah, I have. And I asked if it's a real person and they laugh and say, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it sounds real, but it's not real. Inherently, you go, this isn't a real person. Like, this isn't. This is a recording.
Yeah.
Like, but it sounds real. It's crazy.
Yeah. I know, dude. I know.
And we have sales AI that's listened to 10 million sales calls. This is the types of things that these people say in these situations. I will say the same thing. and then it iterates and learns over and over again. The AI can live 1 million lifetimes in terms of the amount of volume it can churn through and process and learn from compared to a human. So the best sales guy is going to have this much experience compared to the best AI sales guy. And so if it can have those calls 24 hours a day in real time to whatever prospect you want, you may even imagine a world where you ask the phone teller, hey, are you a human? And when they say, no, I'm AI, you're relieved because you're like, thank God, I'm talking to the best version of this who can handle my problem right now. So if you were to have asked people, what job do you think AI will replace first? Most people say,
right, dude, isn't that crazy? Like you actually think of it like, damn, that's true.
at first it'll replace the low skilled jobs, the physical labor, and then it'll be the low skilled white collar jobs. And then it'll be the high skilled white collar jobs like programmers and coders. And then finally, maybe it'll replace the creative jobs. But what's interesting is that it actually happened in the reverse order. If you're a copywriter, this has serious implications for you. A logo designer, this has serious implications for you. Customer service, 24 hours a day, in real time, immediate feedback. What happens to all the positions? It becomes immediate and more accurate for us to have access to a medical AI from our homes. And it can see us because it can interpret data visually too. If you're in finance, it will be able to take all of the raw data and realign it and put it into beautiful Excel sheets. A friend of mine has a father who's a medical malpractice attorney. He asked it to write an argument for why malpractice should not be capped in terms of how much a lawyer can make on a malpractice suit. And then it outlined an entire argument for why it should be uncapped. It happened to be almost identical to the argument that he had after 40 years of experience. You see videos like this, you see all these people on YouTube, you see Instagram posts. Well, what if the AI reads every single Instagram post of all time and ranks them by highest performing, and then merge that with video and deepfakes? We will have pundits and influencers that don't exist. Imagine you could create the perfect celebrity or the perfect spokesperson or the perfect porn star. And with deep fakes, they can work 24 hours a day, say exactly what you want. And what they say has the perfect tone and made to just stimulate the shit out of our dopamine centers. And we're just going to be plugged in because it knows what we like better than we do. If you don't believe me, go to thispersondoesnotexist.com and just keep refreshing it and it will show you new people. Now, if you remember earlier, a video is made of multiple images put together back to back to back. If it can make an image of a real person, it can make many images of real people. If it can make many images of real people, it can make a video of a real person. And then we'll have questions of verification. Did President Biden say that? Did President Trump say that?
Dad said this, remember?
Will take on an entirely new meaning in the very near future. Now, those are just a few use cases, but anywhere humans are, it will disrupt. If you are connected to the AI, you can input faster and you can get information back faster because you're not limited by your digits. This will be the next order of magnitude in terms of output and value that individuals will be able to create in the economy.
I want to say this because I didn't think this makes so much sense for the mark to be like, oh, I'm going to mark this person the real human. This is AI.
There's a chance that capitalism as a system for society may be overturned. You're going to have a huge cost basis that's going to be eliminated. So things may get cheaper. But at the same time, the money that would have gone to those people that's going to go into the economy won't be there. The point is that I think there will be significant changes to capitalism overall. Now, one of the nice things, Sam Altman, who's the CEO, they have actually been undergoing the largest UBI study, so Universal Basic Income study, as a result concurrently with this technology. So he knows what they're making.
We're going to have an opportunity to push the reset button and think about the world we want. And I think universal basic income is one part of that.
He knows the impact of what's going to have. Now, in the short term, we'll be able to harness this. And this is what I think will foster in, at least in the short term, a golden age for humanity in terms of what we're going to be able to accomplish scientifically. I believe that we will be able to achieve nuclear fusion. Fusion is renewable, clean energy for everyone. When you reconstruct the energy infrastructure upon which all of society is laid upon, it changes everything. And so in a very real way, this will be a more significant change or revolution in humanity, in my opinion, than the Industrial Revolution, which changed everything. But let's talk about a very different topic. Let's talk about romance. This is where, in my opinion, it gets a little bit scary. The bottom tier of society have a harder time getting mates, girls or guys. Imagine if we've studied 1 million Tinder.
The bottom tier society.
Yeah, I know. When I saw romance and relations,
probably called first date AI. That can AI from first convo all the way to the date getting set. So let's take it a step further. We have the phone version of this, and you can hear a voice that has been tuned to your preferences of the exact type of voice that you want to hear, that talks to you and listens to you like the kind heart that they are, and they don't care that you talk too much and you only talk about yourself. And when you say these weird things, they just let it go because we think we're more complicated than you are, but we really just have inputs that our brain interprets from an electrical signal and then assigns meaning to. And once you know the inputs, you just hit the buttons, and that's what it will learn how to do. Now we fall in love with robots. Take it a step further. The Tesla bot, 5 generations, 10 generations from now, looks like a human and now has that in the brain. What happens when the robot humans are more attractive, more loving, more caring, more considerate, and cheaper than a spouse? Before I explain how you can maximally use this to make the most money and live the best life in the short term based on the skills that we have today, indulge me for one more moment because I think it's really profound and I think it's going to change the way you see the world. Let's talk about aliens.
Oh, pull it up, Jamie.
Joe Rogan and many people have talked about alien technology and like, what if there was a UFO that was captured, all that kind of stuff. So let's put a pin in that. Play this out with me. When humans want to explore the universe, what do we send first? We send Mars rover. We send a robot, right? Right. If aliens are further ahead of us, then it means that they probably have AI. If they're going to send something, they would probably send a robot. Why? Because a robot doesn't need to eat. It can live for a very long time and it can survive in harsher, different climates than biology can. On top of that, it can work on itself, whereas biology cannot. So aliens might be here, but not necessarily in their physical form, but in their AI form. Because if we can create robots that perfectly clone humans, so can they. And that may be who they sent or what they sent to check out what we're doing. AI would be the perfect thing to send to another planet because up to this point, when we send something, it takes 5 years for it to reach whatever planet it's on. And so by the time it's there, it's really old technology. And so it makes sense that you'd want to send something that is completely adaptable and can rewrite its own code. Space exploration may be done by AI more than it is done by humans because this stuff, our flesh, we're super easy to kill. But the AI can live super cold, super hot, no oxygen, lots of oxygen. It's good. And once we solve fusion with it, it won't even need the sun.
You love Gantt charts? Here's how easily you can build
Is that
one.
it or not?
No, it's an app.
Which leads to one question about life itself. If we define death as the inability to receive inputs, so like when you die, you can't receive inputs anymore. And we define personality as the conglomerate of our actions and behaviors as a result of our past experiences, then if I were to upload my thoughts and behaviors and past experiences, how I talk, how I speak, how I think, et cetera, into a cloud drive, and then it were able to pass the Turing test, everybody I know couldn't tell whether it was me or a robot version of me, then is it me? And if that thing can now go travel planets, is it humans that are traveling to planets or is it an AI cyborg version of humans? I don't know. Interesting questions. And you're like, okay, Alex, you took me to romance, robot wives, and aliens. How do I make more money today? So the first thing that I would ask is that you adopt the mentality that AI isn't here to replace me. It's here to supercharge me. Why do I say that? Because if you adopt the other one, you might as well just throw in the towel now. You have to embrace change. It's part of humanity. Technology moves. We got to adapt. If AI can condense our inputs, so if I say, hey, go read this book, distill it down and then give it to me, I can now read a book significantly faster. If I say, hey, AI, go summarize all my email and all my Slack messages and predict what I'm going to say, and then all I need to do is validate it, I can do a day's worth of work in a few minutes. I think of ChatGPT and AI of the future as a filter through which we will perceive the world both in and out. Think of it as your home screen. You read everything through AI because it has already distilled it down to the most important nuggets for you. And then in the output side, it makes predictions on what you would say normally, and it continues to get training it better, and then it sends it. We can consume 10 times the information and produce 10 times the output, which is a 100x increase. So that's level one. The next level is the expert level. And these are the people who are losing sleep over being like, oh my God, this thing can now do my job. If you're an expert, what used to take you 90% of your time, which is generating things, you now expand most of your time to using the machine to generate, and then you spend your time doing QA and validating the information, making tweaks. And so in a very real way, using these tools, you become more valuable to the companies that you work for or the clients that you serve. I'll leave you with this. This video was made entirely by AI, and this is a deep fake. I'm just kidding. But someday, it might be.
So, that's the video.
Yeah, what I was talking about, the Kyle Kulinski podcast. Yeah, he's good, man.
There are things we can do.
I think we already have AI for romantic relationships right now, and that's through porn and fleshlights and whatever it is. I think human beings are always going to want to go with the human beings, even though if you give me a robot that looks like a human being, I think we're always going to want to go for human beings. I think it's not just because of I like trying to sound romantic about it. I think it's just how we're wired, of what we're like programmed to create. Right? I can't procreate with a robot.
Right.
Well, so that's the drive.
And dude, we have the metaverse. You saw the thing with Elon Musk in the metaverse, right? Not Elon Musk, sorry, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
And it looks very like fake or whatever. But I showed it to Jasenia, and she's sitting on the couch with me, and she says these words that came out of her mouth made me really like her. She said, "Oh my God, I don't know if I want to bring kids into this world," right? She was all motivated to have kids. And it was just like at the point, dude, it's kind of getting at the point where, dude, like did you download the app for chat? Chat?
I haven't yet, but I probably will.
I have. I actually started putting so me, I like refused to use it. I wanted to use my copy for my site, but I was tempted to go use it for copywriting, you know?
So use it and then add your flair to it.
Yeah, that's exactly, and verify. That's what I'm gonna do. Which actually watching that I only watched it the second time. I think I didn't watch that before. It was just it hit me so well. I actually saw stuff. If it can just supercharge me and make me write, because it takes me forever to write the copy for sites anyway, and can do it faster and verify it, then I guess it's good, right?
Yeah, it's honestly, dude, in my opinion, it's gonna be like it's spitting out 80% of the work and you still have to do 20%.
You think we have any AI robots on this planet today?
I have no idea.
It's Westworld, right, dude? Like this is Westworld.
It's entirely possible, to quote Joe Rogan. It's entirely possible.
Do you think Elon Musk is a robot?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't have any proof that he is, but I don't have any proof that he isn't. I could be a robot. You could be a robot, right? Like we don't have proof.
I just feel you wouldn't have blood or flesh. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. Well, maybe it's just an extremely smart AI. Like I've never seen my
The only
brain.
thing about Elon Musk, and I know Elon Musk isn't, but the way he thinks and he computes stuff, right?
Yeah, Zuckerberg is very similar. No, it wouldn't. Like he's like that, and you're like,
Dude, Lex Friedman's awesome. The way he took Zuckerberg and made him do
"Are you a robot?" The first day he started off,
he's like,
Dude,
you gotta do this.
Lex's humor is so deadpan, like it's so like
he's one of my favorites.
To the point where you're like, that's really funny, but like it hits you in a way of like that's ingenious.
Mosey has some humor in there, like the way he showed Zuckerberg and Elon. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, I figured that was a more lighthearted thing. This was a heavy episode. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't know what the deal is with Andrew Tate, man. Dude, we gotta pray for where we're at right now, man. In America, we're losing God. We're letting sex trafficking and child molesters and people run free. Balenciaga is doing that. We're taking people who are calling out anything that we don't like to prison and condemning them right away. That's why I don't want to like condemn the guy right away, you know? Like I was quick to condemn him, and there's no reason to, dude. I just gotta worry about my life, where I'm at. And, you know, and building up my brand as well as I can, and every word I can, you know, just changing life consulting, you know, focus on this, focus on the brands we're building now. If I want to scale and exit the company and run for president, then I can go do that, you know?
Yes, agreed. Let me end with this. Revelation 21:1. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I always found that very interesting. There was no sea.
Yeah, I never heard of it that way. Wow.
I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband, meaning it's coming looking beautiful out of heaven. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Look, God's dwelling place is now among his people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." That's on Jay's tombstone, by the way. Mm-hmm. He who is seated on the throne said, "I am making everything new." Then he said, "Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true." He said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty, I will give water without cost from the spring of the water of life. Those who are victorious will inherit all this, and I will be their God, and they will be my children. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death.
That makes me feel better. The future looks bright.
That's hopeful to think about.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm gonna read that again. That's I'm glad you ended on that. That was actually a really good way to end it.
Yeah, I read it to Ashley one time. Like when we first started dating, I was like, "This is. You want to know how?"
That's what I'm gonna read. By the way, did you see the video with me and Anna Gonzalez? The interview.
I watched it muted. I should watch it not muted.
Dude, it has really good watch thing because it's all questions and interviews, and those work well because it's like, oh, what's she gonna say next? You know, what question I'm gonna ask next?
Yeah, I should go rewatch it. All right, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired.
All right, yeah, I'm hungry and I gotta go to bed.
All right, when are you going back to?
I don't know, man. There was an $89 flight on New Year's Day, but I didn't know if I was gonna do anything New Year's Day with you. We should do goals breakfast or lunch with Sean again somehow.
Shit, we should. You're right.
You know, I'm here. I didn't book it Wednesday. I might book it the 4th. I got to do the first two. We rented my place, and I'm going to Columbia. So there's a lot of like
I know. It's crazy.
It's cool though, man. I love it. Juan Chavez, I'm coming. Consult his resort. So a lot of good stuff coming.
All right, be great.
Anything you want to promote or plug right here?
What's that?
Anything you want to promote or plug right here?
Yeah, joinmasteringmanagement.com. I'm gonna make some changes. I think I'm gonna make it a sub portion of it more affordable because the people have spoke. And then I'm just gonna still build more into it, and that's gonna be more for the people who want more. They're gonna get more. But I think I'm gonna go like the $59, $49 a month thing. Just for the people who want it, who are more affordable. Just so I can reach more people. Because and then see if I might pull it down because if the retention is still the same as the people who are paying for it right now, we only get to 30% of the course or 40 or 50 or 60. Then I want to run some metrics on it because I've never tested that before.
Yeah, and right after Grant's Unbreakable Challenge, which I'll be a part of, we're going to do our own 100K in 90-day challenge with people. We're going to interview people using the Join Mastering Management interview sheet, which is one of the best sheets that I've ever used, helping me coordinate interviews, me or anybody else. We're going to bring on 10 people for a challenge and see who can be the person who makes 100K in 90 days.
Sorry, I was just reading Revelation. It's crazy.
I gotta read Revelation, man.
It's hopeful, you know.
Dude, I'm glad this episode felt very like disheartening. You know, Andrew Tate kind of like a hero to some.
Beginning, I know, right? Like that's the thing. A lot of people like.
Dude, I really started liking the guy. You know, like I started listening to stuff. Part of the reason my shoulder hurts. I was listening to Top G. Then I've met Vina Jetty, and I guess they talked about Andrew Tate at Grant's Unbreakable Challenge with Pace Morby and everybody. And she said, I don't know, I'm going to talk to Pace and everybody later on, that they made a decision. They do not like him. He is not good. Da da da. So
who said that?
Vina, do you know Vina Jetty? No. She's like, she owns a lot of real estate. She's kind of like A-class properties. She's worth like 850 billion or almost 900 or not.
Maybe I'd know her if I see her.
Yeah, she hangs out with Pace a lot. She's a good girl. I really like her. I donated to her charity when I was there.
Oh, you showed me her.
Yeah. So anyway, she told me not to like Andrew Tate. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll walk back my stuff like on it. Like, because dude, here's the thing. Some guy, the hater, Dylan, who's always been a hater. So thank you for all the hate, Dylan. He's an odd individual. I'll just put it that way. Okay. Dude, he challenged when I announced that I was boxing. He's in Clubhouse. True story. I'll fight you, Jeff. Right away. I'm like, dude, I don't want to fight this. I wouldn't even give him the satisfaction, right? He put a shirtless photo on him. Dude, the guy has a lot of pain in his life. Let me just put it that way.
So, two things.
Yeah.
All fall short of the glory of God, right? Doesn't matter who the person is. And then one of my favorite lines ever from a song is true. You can turn off all your senses and you can deny what you know to be true. But in the end, you'll see nothing stands between a man and his maker. I believe that to be the truth. We can say whatever we want. We can turn off what we know to be true. We can turn off all our senses, but in the end, it's all bullshit. If we die and we're in front of our maker, all the excuses we made.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, every knee shall bow. You know, mine, yours, Andrew Tate's, Jeffrey Epstein, whoever you
That's
want.
why, like, it's not good. It's good to have mentors, but don't have heroes. You know, these people, they're people. Right. I'm gonna disappoint people. You know, so we're all gonna disappoint.
Me too, dude. 100%. We're all human, dude. And listen, I'm just trying to be the best version of myself, better than every day today. I do not like how I kind of tippy-toed around this. I just don't know, man. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I don't have as much to actually. I have more to lose. I have a wife and a son. But you have a bigger brand.
I have the president of the United States to lose.
You have more eyeballs on you.
I mean, dude, we probably have like 8 viewers on this right now. By the way, dude, what do you think Aiden Ross is thinking? You know,
what did Aiden Ross do? No, I don't. I know he's interviewed Tate before, but
yeah, I don't know. It's just like he looks up to Tate a lot. Like, here's the thing: I started investing in these people because I saw Tate making these young kids better, and I was like, wow,
yeah.
Cool. Same thing with Patrick David. He was like his own little Grant Cardone, or in his own little stigma, you know?
Yeah, dude. Listen. Listen, there's people who look up to, there are people who literally think Joe Biden is the best thing that has ever happened to America.
Yeah, 82 million of them right here. The election was not rigged at all. That was
and Jeff, if Biden got arrested for child trafficking, for
saying the
molesting kids,
I just want to say this every time because this is the big thing. People call Trump racist. I was talking to a guy today, my barber. Look up Trump First Step Act, okay? After you say that, watch that. And then go look up every time, and they probably took it down, I don't know. Anytime Joe Biden said the N-word and anything it is, just how he's done it. It's just, and then we're putting up pictures of Jerry Jones in this thing. It's just ridiculous, dude. Like,
so my point in saying is people who are of one opinion, it's like the Dale Carnegie thing. Convince a man against his will, he's of the same opinion still. People who are just focused on whatever they believe to be true, they can't be influenced by anything else. There are still people who, even if Biden came across as like, oh my God, he's the worst, you know, he says the N-word, he's sniffed a bunch of children, he's going to jail, they will still say he is the best president that has ever run America, and they will believe it till the day. Same thing with Trump, same thing with Obama, same thing. It's just people tend to find an identity by latching on to a certain group of people, and then it becomes their identity. If they go against them, then it goes against them. So they can't.
That's why I think it's really clear that everybody goes out and kind of treads their own way, listens, right? You know, always.
Why, dude? Why do you think I read Revelation? Right? Because when it comes down to it, whoever, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just, if we believe what we believe and we believe in the Lord, you know, nothing stands between a man.
I mean, I love our hats, by the way. I can't wait till, dude, oh my God, I got to go back to Miami and get my hats. Because it'll fit better, but I wish I had the Valuetainment Future Looks Bright hat. Dude, my shoulder is still killing me. I got to get surgery. Yeah, I know yours fits a little bit better. I got to get mine on. That's cool that we have a hat. We should take a picture before with the hats on before we leave, you know, for the site.
Yeah, sounds good. I like it. All right, Future Looks Bright. I got to go to bed.
All right, I got to go eat. I didn't eat it all today. A lot of stuff going.